We have all heard the phrase, life is short. And at 51 years old, I don't see life as short. I see life as our longest, shortest experience, because what will we do longer than we have lived? And yet, the older we get, it does seem to go by quickly. Time is an illusion. Time really is an illusion. When you think back to maybe in high school, those 4 years seemed like the longest years for me because I couldn't wait to turn 18 and move on with my life, to be an adult and get on with it, right? To have my own ways of being, not have to answer to anyone. And then you move along the sort of way of life and you move through time and space and you arrive at some point. It's different for everybody, I imagine, where you kind of go, wow, I've lived more years than I have ahead of me. At 51, will I get 51 more years, 52 more years? Not likely. It's possible, but how many people are really living into their hundreds, right? And as I contemplate the reality that life is our longest, shortest experience, that time is something we do not get back, I'm reminded of how important it is to spend your time the way you truly desire. We don't get do-overs. We don't get to waste a lifetime and then get this other lifetime that we're aware of and we can navigate it differently. Many people aren't aware of how they're wasting their time and their life. And that doesn't mean we have to be productive and just do. I'm not a doer. I'm a beer. I like to be. I find meaning and purpose in that. So this isn't about doing a lot. It's really about being mindful that, one day I'm out of here. So how am I spending my time? What am I focused on? Do I have a job that is driving me crazy? Am I begrudging my life? What's my mood like on a day-to-day? Am I frustrated, agitated, and not because of something like perimenopause, because that's real, or not because of some event, experience, circumstance that you can point to, but really your baseline. How are you living? Inside this one life that you get, how are you living it? And so today I'm being reflective about that. I'm giving it a lot of thought and consideration so that I can make sure, and I air quote that because, it's not about perfection, it's just about the practice. And inside the practice, how can I make sure that I'm spending my time inside this life in a way that's in alignment with the truth, whatever that is for me, and that sustains a level of peace and equanimity and joy and meaning and purpose. Many people are surrounded by folks they don't enjoy. They are living by way of obligation. I don't really want to do this, but I'm doing it. All of those things rob us of the fullness of the moment. And because we don't get that moment back, it robs us of time. So even as life is our longest, shortest experience, being cognizant of the reality that we don't get it back, the time, the moment, the meaning, the purpose, we don't get it back. So how can I be present with it and for it right now while I'm consciously aware? And I say while I'm consciously aware because The reality of neurocognitive matters are real. Dementia's real, Alzheimer's real, all the things are real. TBIs, traumatic brain injuries, all of those things are real. We don't know where the road goes. We think we do. We hope the road goes according to how we deeply desire it. But the reality is, we probably all know someone where it didn't turn out that way. And it wasn't about an age thing either. Life has a way of doing what it does best, which is going along. And inside the going along, there are twists and turns, dips, potholes, there's elevation, there's the incline, there's the decline. There's all the things exist. So what does it mean to reflect on how we're spending our lives in a way that has us really say, okay, I feel in alignment. Yeah, I feel good about how I'm moving through my life. Or maybe it's like, you know what? I'm done with this. Not only do I need to make a change, do things differently, but I want to. I want to spend the latter part of my life, the next years of my life, whatever it is, part 2 of my life differently. And it doesn't even mean that the part 1 version was terrible, but maybe it just wasn't authentic truly. Maybe it was people pleasing, obligation, wanting to be liked, all of that. Maybe it was. And now you're just, especially when you get older, you really leave that behind. You settle into yourself differently. So it's not about, was the before version terrible? Was the before version true? Is this version right now true? Because this is the before version. And then how do I want to move this forward? How do I want to be in my next iteration of self? I'm thinking about that today, and I invite you to give it some thought for yourself. And to be courageous enough to practice change. We all know that change isn't always easy, and that's okay. I mean, easy is so easy that it doesn't really get us anywhere. How do we grow through easy? We contrast. We need something. I'm not saying we want to just live our lives on a rocky road. We don't need all of the challenges to befall us. No, but contrast is how we appreciate. How do you have gratitude if you've only just been privileged? Contrast is important. And so today I invite you to give it some thought. Give thought to your next iteration as I give thought to mine. Am I spending this long, short life in alignment with truth? And what will guide that for me is the reality that I don't get time back. I don't get this lifetime back. So how can I be fully inside this time now? May we think on this, give it some consideration, and in a way that leads us to practice. In a way that leads us to practice. So that is where I leave us today, reflecting on how we've been and how we are practicing becoming.